Hi, everybody. Um, I'm going to read some scriptures out the Bible. I'm going to start with James, the second chapter, the first through the 10th verse. This is a warning against prejudice. My dear brothers and sisters, how can you claim to have faith in our glorious Lord Jesus Christ if you favor some people over others? For example, suppose someone comes into your meeting dressed in fancy clothes and expensive jewelry, and another comes in who is poor and dressed in dirty clothes. If you give special attention and a good seat to the rich person, but you say to the poor one, you can stand over there or else sit on the floor, well, doesn't this discrimination shows that your judgments are guided by evil motives? Listen to me, dear brothers and sisters. Hasn't God chosen the poor in this world to be rich in faith? Aren't they the ones who will inherit the kingdom he promised to those who love him? But you dishonor the poor. Isn't it the rich who oppress you and drag you into court? Aren't they the ones who slander Jesus Christ, whose noble name you bear? Yes, indeed, it is good when you obey the royal law as found in the scriptures. Love your neighbor as yourself. But if you favor some people over others, you are committing a sin. You are guilty of breaking the law. For the person who keeps all of the laws, except one, is as guilty as a person who has broken all of God's laws. Ooh, the Bible telling us that you got people that's prejudiced. And it's not just about the skin colors. Because, we always focus it on, just prejudice is based on this. It's not. So, let me read this. This is Luke, the 11th chapter. I'm going to read the 39th through the 41st verse. And then I'm going to read the 46th and the 52nd verse. You Pharisees. This is the Lord talking to the Pharisees. You Pharisees are so careful to clean the outside of the cup and the dish. But inside you are filthy, full of greed and wickedness. Fools, didn't God make the inside as well as the outside? So clean the inside by giving gifts to the poor, and you will be clean all over. Yes, Jesus said, what sorrow also awaits you experts in religious law? For you crush people with unbearable religious demands. Why? And you never lift a finger to easing the burden. What sorrow awaits you experts in religious law? For you remove the key to knowledge from the people. You don't enter the kingdom yourselves, and you prevent others from entering. Ooh, a warning against prejudice. So you telling me that because I don't look like you on the outside that I can't be a child of God? So you telling me that if I'm not looking up to a part, then how you think that a person should look like. You telling me that I'm not a part of God's kingdom. So you telling me that someone comes into your presence and they all dressed up, driving a nice car, just looking good from head to toe. So you telling me that all because of the outside, you telling me that means that the inside is clean? Let me tell y'all something. You have to be careful with it. Because when you is so quick to put your focus on the outside. And I'm talking about these, these religious, what Jesus said, these Pharisees, these religious ones that so focused on the possessions, what somebody can bring to the table, what somebody can offer, how somebody is looking on the outside. Then, don't we all read the same Bible? Because even God told Samuel, when you go to crown David, you better keep your eyes off the outside, because that's not what I'm looking for. And you have to be careful when, you looking down on people because of what they looking like on the outside. Because I'm telling you, them very ones that you rejecting is the very ones that God have sent your way. And don't you know, God will put people on your path just to see how you going to treat them. But all the time, you got people that's literally pushing people away from getting their souls saved. All because they're so focused on what's on the outside, what could be offered, what they got. Don't you know that if you don't be careful with that very person that you have trampled on, have rejected, don't you know that could be a soul that could be saved? But you got people so distracted. Because that's what it is. It's just a big distraction. Oh, look what they got. Look what they drive. Look how much they give. Look what they can do. But all the time, you rejecting the very thing that God have sent to get their soul saved, to get saved from the darkness. I'm telling y'all, people better be careful. Because when you looking down on people and you so focused on the outside, you rejecting the very ones that God is sending. And then I'm going to tell you what I've been realizing, because I tell y'all all the time, I have been rejected plenty of times since I've been on this journey. I mean plenty, by many different ones. And I'm going to tell you this, I just be sitting there like, you just don't know. You just went through a test. Because if God sent me and you reject me, you just went through a test. So that's why you have to be careful who you looking down on or think that you're more than them. Because at the same time, God has sent a test your way. Y'all, I'm telling you, I remember I had asked somebody. They were saying they was going to church. I was like, oh, I want to go with you. You think they wanted to come and get me? No. I was like, oh, why? Because of how my hair is. But guess what? Before they answered, God had already told me they was going to reject me. I'm telling you, you better be careful, because a lot of people is sitting up on the test, and God is putting some tests to some people. And a lot of people's hearts, the motives is just jacked up. They just like these Pharisees. Wicked. Dressed up on the outside, but wicked on the inside. You better be careful, because you rejecting the very thing God is sending your way to test you. Y'all, prejudice.